Cool, so kicking things off, guys, with my QI35 that I've got in the bag for this year. Just to get some initial numbers, not head-to-head or anything, but just to kind of give you guys an expectation of what I'd look for in a driver. But we'll just hit a few out there. I've not been swinging driver all too great recently, but we'll see how we go. Okay, that's my normal bad one, little toey one, but not a disaster for me there. It's been a little bit low just because I towed it, but there we go. So that would be my good one. That's the sort of shape that I'd like to see, just a tiny little fade, something like that. Relatively neutral in terms of attack angle, and yeah, roughly sort of 280 carry is a good number for me, but we're a couple more. It's a little bit necky, but it's going to put a bit more fade on it. Let's have a look. So yeah, not too bad, and that's the reason why I've been enjoying the QI35, is it just, even on a necky one, keeps my spin relatively low, but that's why it's always good to have a fitting. So when we have a look at Wilson, I'm sure we'll see a few different performance numbers from the different heads, so super important for you guys to try them all and see what one suits you. So let's have a look at the Wilson. All right, so we're going to start off with the carbon head, not the LS or the Max, just the carbon head, which I guess you could call their sort of core model for this year. We've got the 9-degree head. I have turned it down to 8, so it's the same as mine. And in this one, we've got the HZRDUS 6.5. I've got a tenside black in my QI35, but this is my shaft I used to play, so it should feel fairly familiar. So we'll have a few swings. First initial look, it looks really nice, to be fair. I do quite like how deep the face is, and the sort of markings on the face are quite Titleist in a way from the GTs, so it does frame the ball nice. Okay, a little bit roofy on that one. But yeah, not a disaster. Let's just have a couple. There we go, that felt good. That felt nice. A little bit of a slower swing from me, but ball speed's still right up there. So it's over 160. Spin rate just under 3,000. That's good for me. 276 carry, so it's well up there. It is up there for sure. It's leaked a little bit, but the feedback from the face is actually really nice. It's my only gripe with the QI35 is that carbon face sometimes can feel a little bit dead. And this one's probably going to be a bit more stable than mine since it is the core model, so not really losing any ball speed, it's just spinning up a touch, but we're still up there at 270, which is pretty good. Okay, well that's a shank, but that's still 159 ball speed. Span up a little bit, but that's because it was a little Healy one, but yeah, not too bad, to be fair. I do like the feel and the look of it as well. Nice to have that carbon crown, bit of red colour as well. It does look nice. Let's do one more. Nice and stable. I'm not really hitting it too well, but you can see it's nice and stable. That one's relatively low hill, but ball speed's good. Spinning up a little bit for me, hence, you know, it's been a core model, so it's going to spin a little bit more than the LS. So we'll have a look at the LS and see if we can get that spin down a little bit. Cool, so we swapped over into the LS now. Still same setup, same sort of shaft, same loft and everything. We're just going to see if we can get that spin down a little bit for me. Doesn't look too dissimilar, to be honest. It's a slightly smaller CC head, I believe. So it's 460 and this one's 445. Felt good, I've lost it, but okay, bit right. Okay. Yeah, 3.2, getting there. Let's get a good one. Definitely comes out a bit lower, which I like. Ball speed's good. Yeah, 2.7, up at 270 carry, so some good numbers, and I do like the feedback off the face. You can tell straight away where you've hit it, which is nice. That's a good one. So yeah, I think for me, I'd always like how that comes out a little bit better than that core head. That's a nice one there, 2.5K spin, 280 carry. It just seems to launch a bit lower, flies a bit flatter. Yeah. You know, if you wouldn't have said to me that that was an LS driver, I wouldn't have known. It does feel quite nice and stable. I feel like I've struck them all better than the core, but yeah, you can see the difference in the spin rate that gives you. So instead of living in the 3000s now, we're down in the mid 2000s, mid to high 2000s, which is good for me. That's where I'd like to be, and you can see we're getting a little bit more distance out of it as well. So we're getting up to that sort of 280 carry mark now. So yeah, like that one. We'll have a look at the max. Okay, so last head, gonna have a look at the max. So most forgiving, sort of largest head out of the three. Definitely you can see coming from the LS, it's a much deeper, quite a deep face. This one, it's not carbon on the crown or the sole, so not got any of that carbon material in here, but the idea being it should just be the most forgiving out of the bunch. So let's have a look. I mean, it felt forgiving considering that was a pretty terrible strike, but you can see the difference in the launch. Yeah, 4K spin. So yeah, well, yes, it is the most forgiving, but for maybe someone with my sort of swing with a driver, maybe not so much for me. But like I say, that's why it's so important to come and get fit, because on paper this is the most forgiving, but for myself, who's got a bit of a flicky, weird driver swing, that maybe not. Well, that was hit well. I do like how that launched quite high, but I don't think it's got a huge amount of spin on compared to the first one. Let's see. 275, didn't catch the spin rate, unfortunately. It didn't look too spinny. Had quite a nice launch as well. Let's see. Definitely a different noise to it, bit of a higher pitch noise. Nice though. I wouldn't say you're losing much going for the max. That one's up at 279, so you can see you're not really losing much. You may just run the danger of a spinny one if you swing it fairly quickly, but yeah, as far as stability goes, you can see as well, you're not losing out any distance and you're just gaining a bit more stability. So yeah, good option. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the numbers from all three heads, and we'll have a look at the TaylorMade as well. But you can see there, as far as dispersion goes, these red ones here, the max head, all in the fairway. You know, this one a little bit further back just because it was a little spinny, but you can see these two right up there and right down the middle of the fairway as well. So a couple of nice hits on that one. You can definitely see the LS spin rate is in that sort of area that we look for, but maybe not as much of a stable head. So we've got one off to the right there a little bit. And then the core model, the carbon, average spin rate's not too bad. It's maybe slightly high at the 3000s, but you can see when it dips just under 3, again, it's right up there in terms of distance as well. So not too bad at all. But I think for me personally, I'd probably go for that LS, even though I was quite surprised with that max. That didn't really look to draw bias either. Sometimes the max heads look like they only want to go left, but yeah, that one was set up pretty neutral, to be fair. So some good numbers across the board. My one out there, it's, you know, a couple of yards further, but at the end of the day, you know, a couple of yards difference between them. They are at different price points and things like that as well. And mine's been, you know, custom fit to me. So I'm sure if I had a bit more time in here to custom fit myself to one of those Wilsons, they'd be right up there in terms of distance. So if you guys are coming in for a driver fit sometime soon, definitely worth a look. Definitely worth a look. They've got a nice sort of traditional look to them, nice responsive feel on the face, and you can see in the numbers there, not really losing out any distance at all whatsoever compared to your, you know, your TaylorMades or your Titleist of the worlds. So yeah, pretty impressed. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed our quick review and breakdown of the DynaPower drivers for this year. As I'm sure you can see, based on the numbers at least, it's definitely a contender for this year, and at that price point as well, it's definitely worth a look. And considering we can completely custom fit them to the same level as any other brand, it's definitely one to have a look at in the studio. So thanks for watching guys, we'll see you again soon.